Hey everyone, it's Gamefruitpulp, and welcome back to another Minecraft Building Toronto episode. Today, after over a month, I'm excited to finally premiere our new map and go over some of the changes that were made with you guys, obviously, and explain sort of how this is going to change how the project works in the future. Before jumping into that, if you're new to the channel, you don't know what I'm talking about, we're on the Building Toronto project. It's a multi-year multiplayer project that aims to recreate the city of Toronto, Canada on a one-to-one scale. If this is something you think you'd enjoy watching, be sure to hit that subscribe button to catch future content on the channel. So, jumping into today's video. If you watched the last video, I sort of went over the fact that we're doing a large-scale change on the map to ensure its accuracy and to sort of prepare the project to proceed into the future. With that in mind, we are completed our move to our new map, and among other things that the map has changed, the biggest difference for everyone really is the height difference within the world. Before, because of the old building limits, we were stuck at we chose to do 50% terrain increases compared to what actually exists in Toronto, and so because of that, the height differences in the world were obviously half of what they are in the real world in Toronto. We have changed that. We have now reverted to the actual height differences in Toronto, the actual terrain of Toronto, 100% exact. And an interesting fact about the new map is actually that Lake Ontario sits at the same level it is above sea level. So Lake Ontario on our map starts at 74 meters, and Lake Ontario in the actual world is 74 meters above sea level. So we gave up a little bit of height to do that, but I thought it was a cool little tidbit that hopefully will not affect how the project is built in the future, and we're going to get to how that won't affect it at the end of the video, or a little bit later in the video, I should say. Looking at how the actual world itself has changed, the biggest difference will be the roads. When we moved all the blocks over on our old map, there were some decisions made by Bacon, who made that map, to basically shrink down the entire world by 3% to better fit in what was already built. Because basically we had built the other blocks too small previously, and as a result, he didn't want us to have to redo everything, so he made everything 3% smaller. Von Frank, who built this map, did not do that. We sort of planned out beforehand that, okay, we're going to take the time to adjust everything that needs to be adjusted, and we're going to make the world exactly the correct length. So every block in this world is 100% accurate to the real world. A couple other differences you'll see if you explore the map is obviously we've changed from our flower outlines to just block outlines, which allows you to see where roads are even before they're built, which is pretty cool. If you want to go exploring for yourself, maybe find your house, that's something you can do. Also, it sort of cut down on the lag by removing the flowers, and that's really that. The biggest difference you'll see if you've been a long-time explorer of the project is a lot of the roads are bigger. And not bigger because we needed to make up blocks, bigger because they were too small on our world. The biggest difference you'll see is actually on roads like King Street, where there's streetcar tracks. Roads like I believe this is York, where there's streetcar tracks. These were just rails before. Now we've been able to implement actual... I don't think that was King. I think this is King. I think that was a mistake on that street sign. I believe this is King here. They'll be able to implement actual streetcars. Like you see here with the tracks, and not just a rail, because the rail kind of looks kind of bad. Another thing that we're testing out with this new map, and this is the big change, this might be why a lot of you clicked on the video, because it's going to be in the title. We're climbing up here to the top of First Canadian Place, which is still not the correct height. Obviously, one of the issues you would have thought of if you've been following the project for a while is if before the project was built at level 11, and now we're building at level 74, all these buildings are going to be too short. But you're looking at them and they're not. And that is because, as you see, we climb up here, we're passing the 256 height limit that is in 1.17, and the top of First Canadian Place, when we get to the top, excuse the frame rate lag, that's obviously a computer issue for me, is 315. So, you're probably wondering what's going on here, what kind of witchcraft voodoo is going on with this world. We are at 320 height limit early. I'm going to put out a video hopefully next week explaining how we did this, but it's something that we're going to be testing out with 1.17 going into 1.18. And if that works without a kink, we're going to be dramatically increasing our height limit going into 1.19. So once the 1.18 update comes out, we'll be dramatically increasing our height limit to allow us to build everything in the world. And this is sort of, we're testing it out. We're doing the dry run right now with the 1.17 map. As you can see, we're up to height limit 320. So we're way up here. You can see all the builds are all built. You can't really notice the difference because obviously the ground is at 74. So there is no real difference in that sense. But it will make a difference going forward with the project. If this works without any issues, then you'll see as we move forward, it will allow us to sort of increase the height limit past what the default limit is for 1.18, which is going to be 320. Other than that, that's really it for the video. The only other thing we're going to do is I'm going to do a quick cut, and I'm going to go to show you some terrain. So we're going to head over to the Dawn Valley, and you're going to have a look at that. We're going to have a fly through of that so that you guys can see what that looks like in comparison to what it looked like in the old world. It's really exciting for I'm really excited for this change. Von Frank, Starbound, and I put in a ton of work over the last month to get this done, which is why there was no videos. It's because we were focusing on getting this done as quickly as possible. And now it is done. And then in all its glory, you can see City of Toronto on a new map, allowing us to sort of work into the future at a better, more future-proof pace. There is virtually no reason for us to have to redo this map again, unless we need to lower it because our plan with the raising the height limit thing doesn't work. And if that's the case, that's not going to be a significant project, moving the world down. It should be very little issue at all, actually. So anyways, we will do a quick cut, and I will be in the Dawn Valley probably. Either the Dawn Valley or High Park, but I'm leaning towards the Dawn Valley. I think that you'll be able to capture a better idea of the world terrain there. So we will head over to the Dawn Valley and have a look at our new terrain and what it means for the project. Okay, so here we are in the Dawn Valley. I'm not really sure whereabouts this is. I think this is bluer. By the size of it, it looks like bluer. But you can see the difference between this and the old map. Just looking at this sort of steep decline you have here. I can barely even capture it, even though I'm on max render distance. Just how beautiful and wide the Dawn Valley is, but how pronounced it is because of the full height limit. So just for reference, under the old map, to the top of the Dawn Valley would have been like here. Excuse my fly speed, it's too quick. That would have been where the top is. So you can see the difference it makes in the project, just trying to capture the beauty of the Dawn Valley. It's one of the most beautiful things we have in the city. It's something that really sets the city apart. I don't think it gets enough appreciation for its beauty. Obviously, because it's been like channeled in a lot of the places for the river, it's not as great as it could be. But they're working on fixing that somewhat. So that's probably content for another video, though. But as we fly south, you see the sort of grading comes down as it does in real life. And we'll fly out just into the lake, because there is one other interesting thing I want to mention about the lake before we end the video. You can see here we're getting down towards the south end, where there is no valley anymore. It's pretty much flattened out. The Dawn Valley is running here, and then this should be pretty soon where it joins up with the Gardener. And then there it goes with the Gardener. Dawn Valley's now over, and then there you get the sharp right-hand turn for the Dawn Valley, which causes all the flooding. And then this takes us out, obviously, into Lake Ontario. So, the interesting thing about this is that as we get out into Lake Ontario, you will notice a sharp drop-off that we did not have on the old map because the map was at level 11. So another interesting thing we've done with our map is, in addition to having accurate terrain scaling, we've also captured, I believe it's called bathography, which I found very interesting, but the actual terrain of Lake Ontario. And that was the reason for building at 74. Because if we head out, way out into the distance here, Lake Ontario isn't actually that as deep as you would think. But you sort of hop in here, and we're looking at a depth of a significant amount in comparison to the old map. So we have the bathography of Lake Ontario in here as well. It's a cool, very cool feature, and it's something to sort of be excited about. You see here, there's the dip in terrain, and if we teleport way out into, we're not going to be doing that, but if we teleport way out into the middle of the lake, maybe if you get in Toronto, one of the rewards we'll bring out is the boat. And if you get way out into the middle of the lake, it's obviously going to be very deep. So another cool sort of feature. We tried to think of everything we could on the world. Hopefully you guys think it was worth sort of a month without videos, a month without true progress in the sense of new buildings. We've redone a lot of the buildings actually to make them fit a little bit better. So if you are a long-time viewer of the project, yeah, I encourage you to sort of go and explore it for yourself. But I wanted to sort of talk about what these changes meant for the project and how they how it's sort of changing everything on the project. And now you know. Hope you think it was worthwhile. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to check out the description. I got a bunch of links to different things, my social medias, my Patreon, my Discord from the community. Lots of different stuff to look at. So I encourage you to check all that out. And hopefully you're excited to see the progress that comes in the future. We got a good plan going forward for the rest of the year. I'm excited to sort of bring it to fruition now. Now that we're done moving everything over, we can really focus on progressing outwards on the map. So if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer and you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and share the channel with your friends. Like I said, I'm really excited for the future of the project. I hope you guys are too. This has been Minecraft Building Toronto. My name is Gamefruitpulp, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Have a good one.